Her skin felt icy beneath the harsh glow of the morgue lights. I reached for her hand, my sister's hand, the same hand that once held a service weapon steady, now lifeless on a steel table. The coroner stopped me. "Don't touch. Look." He guided my gaze with gloved finger, pointing to the small, neat hole in her chest. My eyes locked on it, unable to turn away. "The bullet's here," he murmured. But something else came with it. He slid tweezers into the wound. The faint scrape of metal against flesh echoed in my ears. We pulled them back. I expected to see lead. Instead, his expression froze, his hand trembling. Between the tips dangled something that didn't belong there. Neither metal nor bone. A ring. Gold. Thin. Bent slightly at the edge. Wedged into the groove of the bullet. I stared, unable to breathe. Recognition hit before my mind could reason it away. The engraving was worn but legible, 3 letters. My wife's initials. The room tilted, but I didn't move. Silence wrapped around me like a noose. That bullet hadn't just carried death. It carried a secret. A message. My sister's murder wasn't random. It was personal. Grief blinds you. Betrayal sharpens everything. I didn't react in that room. I didn't demand answers. I just stood there, steady on the outside, while my inside splintered into 1,000 cracks. She wore that ring every day, twisting it whenever she lied, about where she'd been, who she'd texted, why she came home late. I'd seen that nervous habit countless times. I'd ignored it. Now, those 3 letters glared back at me like a confession carved into gold. I replayed the last week. The hushed phone calls behind a locked bathroom door. The car missing from the driveway at 2 a.m. Her sudden sympathy toward my sister's reckless police work. I brushed it off, convinced myself I was being paranoid. Marriage teaches you to doubt yourself before doubting them. But standing in the morgue, with my sister's blood still cooling nearby, doubt ended. The betrayal wasn't only personal. It was professional, fatal, and a single question burned hotter than the rest. Did my wife know? Or worse, was she involved? I didn't accuse her. I didn't break. I watched. That night when I returned home, her eyes wouldn't stay still. She asked how my sister looked, but she didn't touch me. Her ring was missing. She claimed she'd left it at the gym. I nodded and said nothing. I began quietly, accessing my sister's final case files. Every arrest, every enemy she'd made. A pattern emerged. Drug traffickers, a tight ring of smugglers with police contacts feeding them information. My wife's brother had been arrested once for that very business, but disappeared before trial. One morning, pouring coffee, I asked her casually, "Ever hear from your brother?" She flinched before answering. That was enough. I dug deeper, checked her phone. Late-night calls to unlisted numbers. Deleted messages, still synced to a cloud account she'd forgotten I had access to. I found fragments. He doesn't know yet. She has to be stopped. After this, we're clear. Each line cut sharper than the last. I requested a DNA test on the ring. The print was partial, but hers, burned into the gold. She couldn't talk her way out of that. Still, I didn't confront her. Not yet. I let silence grow heavy. Let suspicion ripen until truth had no escape. When the coroner's report arrived, I read it again and again. The bullet in my sister's chest carried oil traces from more than one surface. The ring hadn't lodged there by accident. It had been placed intentionally, like a marker, a warning meant for me. That night, I set the report on our kitchen table. No words, just paper. She walked in, saw it, and froze. Her lips parted, but nothing came. "Why?" I asked. Her voice cracked. I didn't mean for it to go that far. Not denial, not confusion. An admission. Her shoulders sagged. Tears followed. She tried to reach for me, gasping apologies. I didn't move. The silence drowned her sobs. I pushed the ring across the table. It clinked against the report. She hovered her hand above it, trembling. But I didn't let her touch. "You wore this while plotting with them," I said. "You twisted it when you lied to me. And you left it on her bullet, like a signature." Her face crumbled. She begged, explained, Pressure, family ties, survival. I listened. Every word made her smaller. Then I stood, calm and precise. Detectives will be here in 10 minutes. Her eyes widened. You wouldn't. I already did. She collapsed into the chair, sobbing into her palms. For the first time, I felt nothing. They came quietly. No sirens, no spectacle. Just a patrol car in the night. They took her away without resistance. I stood in the doorway as the car pulled out, lights dim, silence fitting the end. Inside, the kitchen still smelled of her perfume and lies. The ring remained on the table. My sister's death had become her judgment. My grief had hardened into justice. I hadn't won. I hadn't lost. I had only uncovered the truth and refused to look away. When I turned off the kitchen light, the room sank into darkness.